Welcome back to one of my favorite sports podcasts, Frizz and the Grizz, with your host Trudeau and my guy, Frizzy Frizz.
Hello and welcome back to Frizz and the Grizz. It's your boy Trudeau. Thank you for joining us live Monday, July 14th. Catch us live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Follow us on Twitch at the handle at @dfrizzy_Frizz5. If you're only catching us live and watch part of the show, you can catch the whole show next day on podcast. Apple, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcast. I recommend Spotify because it comes with the video function as well, so you can watch us as well as listen. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I always say, good show for you today. I don't know how it's going to go today. We're in the dog days of summer. We have a really interesting, different segment for you all today. It's going to be very spicy. The hottest takes generated by AI. And we're going to debate them. I think AI has some really good thoughts and ideas. But first, D, what it do?
What up? What up? What up? And not to throw too much out there for this whole AI thing. I think I know where they got majority of their rankings, but I'm interested to see in what you believe or don't believe from what we were able to gather from this AI stuff.
So it's interesting. So AI works, it gets fed data. So opinions, it gets fed all sorts of information to formulate its thoughts, its opinions. And there's a lot of hot takes. I went to Chat GPT. I'll give you guys a preview how this was done. I went to Chat GPT. I asked for its hottest takes. And then it ended the prompt with, do you want spicier takes? And I said, hell yeah, give me some spicier ones. And then it said, give me some more takes. And it said, do you want my nuclear takes? And I said, fuck yeah, give me the nuclear takes. Brother, the things it said at first would be like, dog, what is this thing thinking? And then you start thinking about it. I'm like, maybe it's got a point with some of these hot takes. So it's interesting. It's interesting.
Very interested to see how it goes or where we'll go from the points, or at least the takes that are given to us from computers.
Yeah, and if you're watching live, join us with the chat. No pun intended. Throw in your hot takes. I want to hear your opinions on some of these things. D, before we get into the actual sports talk, how was your week, man? It's been 2 weeks off. It's kind of the dog days of summer. And just for those listening and watching, we'll be on every other week until probably mid-August when football season starts picking back up.
So week was actually very interesting. A lot going on at the Frizz household. First is the oldest, weird to say, is getting ready to start kindergarten. So we had the introduction to kindergarten over the past weekend, and then we had her look at her classroom today. So that was fun. Obviously, I set it off air. The missus is getting into video games, so that was fun to see. Bringing up some retro games, and then the last one, which is just as important, is we're both as a family getting into working out together. So it's like,
oh, wow,
a lot of time is being spent, which is great, outside of prior commitments, which was 2K basketball. So it's like, now that that's over, I'm able to do a little bit more stuff with my free time. But before you chime in, I got a question for you. Go. And this is for anybody else, because I was thinking about it over the weekend. When you're putting shit together, right, you're always tasked to, right? Hey, can you build this? Can you build that? I need to set this up for this weekend. I need you to fix this for that weekend. When you're putting shit together, are you a fan of having extra pieces after you complete what's being built, or having just enough to just build what you're looking to build?
So if like building a shelf, there's extra pieces afterwards.
Are you a fan of having the extra pieces, or just having
never use the extra pieces? I understand the theory behind it, right? If something is missing when someone puts the pieces in there, you're going to need the extra piece, so it's clutch. I've never used the extra piece once. I always throw them right in the trash, because there's always a debate. Do I keep it for what? I'm never going to know what this nut's for. I throw it right in the trash. And it does freak me out a little bit, but it does tell you in the box, like 5 extra pieces. So you're like, all right, I did it right. It's all good.
Cool. All right. So we're on the same page. I think it finally hit me, because I was team save a lot. Just, you never know. I might need this, this one Allen wrench that's just to this piece of equipment that's right here.
Crash it.
I might need it. You know what I'm saying? And then this, like I said, Al's working. She wants to work out. She wants to get back into getting into everybody getting into shape.
That image, by the way.
But like I had put together this weight rack, right? She bought a bunch of dumbbells, and I put together this weight rack, and it had just enough pieces where all I had to throw away was just the bags. And I was like, that's phenomenal. Like I don't have to put something in one of my toolboxes and be like, well, I hope I'm gonna need this. You know what I'm saying? In like 3 years, or like I put together this damn swing set a couple years ago for the girls, and I saved like a whole bunch of pieces. And I'm like, dog, if that thing breaks, I'm just making another one. Like I'm not gonna go find the one screw that's gonna fit in this, or I'm gonna jimmy rig it and it's gonna look like shit anyway. Like I'm not gonna go find whatever piece it was that was with the extra pieces.
Yeah, and I only do this because my wife would tear
I hear
me
you
ass.
right now, though.
I'm gonna be quiet because my wife's in the house. I would throw away all the instructions if it wasn't for her. Like as soon as I'm done, I'm like, I'm never gonna look this again. Like fuck it. But the second that we need those instructions in the second time, and she's like, where are the instructions? And I'm like,
damn it.
Shit. So I don't throw them away. I like store them somewhere, throw them in a bin somewhere, just in case, cover my ass.
I hate having in our everybody's got just the nonsense drawer in the kitchen, right? Like there's just extra shit just everywhere. And like I'm going to look for like a Sharpie in that. And then like I pull out, well, here's the instructions to the table that you put together 7 years ago. I'm like, the hell do I need these for? It was an Allen wrench and a bunch of screws. You know what I'm saying? Like, toss that. But you're right. As soon as you throw away one that's important, you get in trouble for not having it.
So I got a funny story. My daughter was initiated into the proper ways of Boston this weekend, and it's not going to be what you think. So we went to her first Red Sox game, which was dope, and she did pretty good. Like she stood out the whole game. The kids ran the bases afterwards. That wasn't the proper initiation into Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And you have 2 kids. If anyone at home, if you're watching and you have kids, you can relate to me with this one. When the kids are learning how to potty train, step 1 is to pee in the potty. Great, check that box. She's been potty trained for a year now. Step 2, which is the more annoying part about potty training, is that kids don't really know, when I got to go potty.
Yep.
It's like some kids are like 5 minutes before, 10 minutes before. Some kids are 30 seconds.
Right.
My kid's a 30-second kid. Like, I got to go piss. Oh, I'm about to piss my pants. Like, that's when she has to go to the bathroom. We're coming home from the Sox game. We're on the green line. Dada, got to go potty. Like, girl, there are no bathrooms in the green line. So we're sitting there like, great, what are we going to do? This kid's going to piss her pants. My wife goes, give me that cup. My daughter took a piss on the green line. We made a human shield around her, squatted down on the green line, took a piss in a cup. I'm like, usually you don't piss on the green line until you hit college and you're blacked out, but shout out to you for crushing your
Welcome to Boston, baby girl.
This isn't the first time someone pissed on the green line today. It won't be the last, so whatever.
100%. Well, that's a hell of an initiation. At least she knows that you'll have that moment forever etched in your mind of, yep, anytime we go to a Sox game, you can just throw a little jab. Hey, you actually took a piss right here. You're like, Dad, that's embarrassing.
Right outside Government Center on the green line.
Buddy, what a weekend.
All right, let's get into the meat of the show, guys. I'm glad you're all here watching. We're going to go and get AI's hottest takes now. So I set off jump, and so there's new people here watching, so I'll fill you in what this segment is. Again, it's the dog days of summer. We're looking for content. We went to ChatGPT, and then we said to ChatGPT, give me some of your hottest sports takes. It gave me 3 levels of sports takes: spicy, extremely hot, and nuclear. I'm going to give out some of their spicy takes first. I think this is an appropriate one because people always talk about these 2 players in context with each other. This was AI's first just spicy take. I don't even think it's that spicy. On the debate of LeBron versus Michael Jordan.
Oh, God.
AI said this, and I didn't even prompt it to talk about LeBron Jordan. AI said this. It's his hot take. LeBron's longevity is more impressive than Jordan's peak. And you know what, G? I kind of don't disagree with that. So if you're comparing them in context, everyone's like LeBron, Jordan, this, that, rings, this, and that. But if you really think about it, the longevity this man has had in the league and how much he's meant to the league for so long, God, near 18 years as the apex, it is far more impressive than this, 8 years of Jordan's peak when they were winning championships year after year after year. Do you agree with that hot take? What do you think about that one?
I mean, that one is an actual like head scratcher. I'll give you that for a lot of the things that like we talk about sports wise. So it's like, oh, Jordan is better than LeBron. LeBron is better than Jordan. I like picking apart this specific type of their career, but I'm still gonna disagree. And reason being is we may never see that type of peak again.
That was a peak.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I get like the 20 plus years of a career of LeBron James has been insane. But that 8-year span between 93 and 98 when he was 3 in a row, took out many 50-win teams along the way, Hall of Famers, prevented Hall of Famers from winning championships, people like Gary Payton, Sean Kemp, Reggie Miller, Karl Malone, John Stockton, like Charles Barkley. He prevented top 75 players from winning championships while he was on that run. Took a break for 2 years. A break, quote unquote. Let's get you out of the league before something bad happens to you, Jay. Then came back and won 3 more. Like,
that's impressive.
And it's not like he was just I love the distribution of the basketball that LeBron James has. His basketball mind, right? He can average 25 and 10 and 10 if he wanted to. Jordan was going out there dropping 50. Like, he was like, I'm going to be the one that's scoring in a league that's averaging 85 to 90 points. I'm scoring 65% of it. I don't think you're going to see that much of a dominant peak again, but this is one of the better arguments when it comes to the LeBron James versus Jordan thing. I like this one a lot more than who's better. LeBron's got longevity, Jordan's got rings. No. Which do you think is better? Like the specific longevity that he's had or that 8-year span? Because I like this one.
I thought it was an interesting way to just think about the discussion and argument, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, those 8 years were super impressive. But after that second run in the second retirement, Jordan was never the same when he came back with the Wizards. Before he got those titles, while Jordan was still a great player, he wasn't Jordan at that point, right? And LeBron's been LeBron from like the moment he got in the league. Year 3, year 4, he's going to the finals against the Spurs with Will Williams as his running mate. You know what I mean? So I think it's an interesting take. I kind of agree with it, but kind of disagree. Here's the hot take number 2. I thought this was an interesting one. AI hot take.
Rapid fire with this, huh? I like that.
A lot of hot takes.
Okay.
AI hot take number 2. The steroid era saved baseball. So the steroid era was a positive thing for Major League Baseball. I know it's thought of looking back as this tainted era. They're throwing out records. Everyone gets asterisks. But if you think about it, the steroid era, while we bastardize those players, that era may have made baseball, like, propelled it. If you think about that time, the early 90s through the early 2000s, you had every year a home run chase, like to break the home run record. You had McGuire, Bonds, Sosa, some of the greatest players of all time, just dudes jacked up. Like, it changed the national perception of baseball. It put it on the map as like the biggest sport in America. And I think AI is right about this. The steroid era was one of the best things to happen to baseball.
It 100% was, because there are names that you remember and that time of baseball that you can put yourself back into. Everybody was watching the McGuire versus Sosa race. Like, everybody was when they were playing wiffle ball, they were playing baseball, softball. Everybody was hitting a home run and doing the Sosa hop, right? Because it was like, oh my God, this is amazing to watch back and forth. And then you even had other names that like people knew about, but like, wow, this came out of nowhere. Like a Jim Tomei who was hitting 50, 60 home runs. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that stick with you, let alone the best to ever do it, the best contact baseball player in the history of the game, who, whether you want to call it juiced or not, did something, and he broke the record for home runs in a season. Like Barry Bonds, that was one of the most exciting years in the history of baseball, not only breaking the record, but then coming within games of winning the World Series just off of his offense. Just off of one man's offense, he literally carried an entire team to the point where teams were walking him with the bases loaded. Right? I think I saw a stat that said during this era, Barry Bonds had like in the World Series, like let's just throw a random guess, 12 at bats. I'm sure it was more than that, but it was like 12 at bats, 5 home runs, 6 walks. Like it was something stupid. Like that. That's what people want to see.
Yes.
Chicks dig the long ball. They always have. And when you hit a home run, it makes you glued to the television.
Yeah, and if you think of the most exciting times in baseball history, right? You think of Jackie Robinson, the color barrier. You think of the great home run chase between the Yankees players. You think of the great home run chases of that steroid era, and then even like flash to today, where baseball is not the biggest sport in America. We were cutting in to Aaron Judge at bats 2 years ago when he was close to the record.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's a lot of complexity to this game of baseball, but like you said, there's something about home runs and home run chases that captivate audiences. And that steroid era was a home run chase every year. And I don't know if you know, but like this year, the home run leader is Cal Rowley, which is a catcher from the Seattle Mariners. He's mashing, but like guys like that leading the home run, the majors in home runs,
Not a name.
Doesn't bring the audience in like those big names back in the day. So I'm 100% with ChatGPT and the idea that the steroid era saved baseball.
You know, and this was made me think about it. The 2020 season where they quote unquote juiced the balls because there was a spike in home runs to try to bring popularity back because it was not only a dying sport, but COVID also hit. So like that season post the world shutting down, there was a theory. Go ahead and look at it. The theory of like they're potentially juicing the balls because home runs went up to bring people back into the sport.
I remember that.
Kind of said then they were like, well, they've got the sticky stuff on their hands, so like we gotta get pitchers suspended because like they got to be able to throw pitches. That's the reason why there's home runs up because they got all the sticky shit. It's like, nah, you guys did something to get the ball to fly 500 feet again to have people fill those fucking seats because that's what people want to see, not a 3-0 strikeout fest.
And I think there's a problem today with baseball too, where they are still hitting long shots because the analytics have said basically or walk. Yeah. And back in the day when we had those home run chases, we still had on base guys. So like not only were you getting the long balls, but you were getting guys hitting home runs for 2-3 RBIs, which made it vastly more exciting.
Oh yeah, people were on pace to break RBI records. It wasn't even just home runs; it was on base percentage, slugging percentage, and RBI. Like a whole bunch of stats that they weren't just solo home runs.
Well, this is the last lower spicy take from ChatGPT.
Those are 2 good ones. I'll give you that.
Spicier ones. Sticking with the baseball theme. And by the way, D has no idea what these takes are. I have them all. It's a surprise, D. Hot take number 3 from ChatGPT. Shohei Ohtani is the most uniquely talented athlete in any major American sport in the last 50 years.
Wow.
Now, I think the wording is very specific by ChatGPT, saying uniquely talented, because there have been players that have been excellent at what they do. Like, all right, let's say Usain Bolt, U.S. Olympics. Like, he is one of the greatest Olympic athletes we've ever seen. However, he does one very specific thing. I would disagree with this hot take from one perspective. If you want to go uniquely talented, could I give you a nomination of a guy like, speaking of Olympics, Michael Phelps, who is one of the greatest Olympians of all time? I know he just does swimming, but it's different types of strokes. Now, the Shohei argument is very interesting because not only is he the best batter in baseball, he was one of the best pitchers before he blew out his elbow. So, like, I think it's an interesting take. I don't know if there's any nominees that you would kind of battle with on that.
This one I would say is more recency bias, where I would say I don't agree with this one because athlete, I think of the superlatives, from high school, right? Best athlete. A lot of people just give it to whoever was the best at that sport, when athlete is supposed to be best at multiple sports, right? So I think of, I don't know, Bo Jackson, who dominated in the NFL for a couple of years to blew his knees out and then dominated in baseball. He walked so somebody like a Deion Sanders could run. Again, multi-sport athlete, football and baseball. Wilt Chamberlain. I mean,
that's why there's a qualifier of 50 years on that. So, like, I think
both within the last 50. I'm not 50 years old, and I was a little.
So the last 50 years would be like mid 1970s. I think, when did Will play?
Oh, you're talking about for Will. I thought you were talking about for Bo and for.
Oh,
Yeah, I get
threw
what you're saying for Will. No, I mean I wouldn't even throw Wilt Chamberlain in there because him, Bill Russell, they were 7 foot tall. Like, honestly, playing against guys that were like 6'6", so they had a huge advantage because of that. Unique wise, if we're going to use that word, I'm looking at a Shohei Ohtani and I'm like, yes, he's recently one of the crazier athletes that we've seen to be able to dominate at such a high level for both baseball. There she is.
All right, you got to go. That's the mama.
To dominate in baseball at a high level pitching is extremely difficult and hitting. So like I'll give you that. But over the last 50 years, like
Way out.
there's been athletes that have done multiple sports at a high level that I would give the
Dion.
nod to. I just said
My-
when the hosts aren't listening.
sorry.
No, I
My daughter came in the room. And I'm trying.
no, you're good, man. I will clip this one and add it to the list. But yeah, I would disagree with this one. It's a good recency bias topic, but I wouldn't agree with it.
Okay, interesting. I would again. I know we just talked about LeBron. Maybe LeBron.
When the hosts aren't listening.
Did you say LeBron too?
No. You
I'm
did.
gonna go to the next one because I'm all flustered now. All right, so now we're getting to the more spicy takes.
Okay, so we had spicy. This is extra hot, right?
It's extra hot takes from
Okay.
ChatGPT. Ready? This one's a good one. This is for all my New England fans out there. Are you ready? ChatGPT says Bill Belichick is a system coach. Without Brady, he's Jeff Fisher with better press conferences. I think you agree with that.
Ooh, this is a good one. I gotta agree.
We think of him as the greatest, if not one of the greatest coaches of all time. But is he just a system coach where he just runs his very specific system and everything else around him just kind of worked and made it work with like Brady?
Yes. Long story short, he got the perfect system player for his system, that being Brady. Yeah. Wow. That's a good one. ChatGPT was throwing flames on that one because you have to look at before and after. You have to look, he got a championship when he was with Parcells in New York, right? So like you as a coordinator, he got a championship. So I'll give him credit for that as a defensive coordinator. But when he was coaching the Patriots, he really wasn't doing shit. When he was coaching the Browns, he didn't do a goddamn thing in Cleveland. And then post Brady, what doesn't help at all with Bill is Brady won one in Tampa. And then he got Mac Jones, didn't do anything.
Yep.
And I think he had Cam Newton, couldn't do anything. Like he got quarterbacks to try to do something with, and he fell flat on his face. So yeah, that stain of the last 3 years of his career in New England, I would say, yeah, Belichick is the system, and Brady was the outlier that helped his system.
It's looking more and more like that's the truth as time goes on.
And I respect it because I used to be all for Belichick. Like, anybody could be a quarterback for him. Like, it's his defense. And look, I'm like, nah, that motherfucker Brady was good. He was pretty fucking good.
I think we got fooled a little bit with Belichick when they slipped in Garoppolo for a few games and then in Brissett for a few games when Brady was hurt. And they looked okay with those guys, but that was a small sample size. And then you saw when Brady went out, were they actually still a playoff team when Brady went out? Or
they missed the playoffs. That was the one year that a team won 10 games and missed the playoffs.
I mean, that's still a pretty good record when they were playing 16.
I used to argue against that because I'd be like, they missed the playoffs. And then people some actual realist in New England would be like, they took an undefeated Patriots team and lost 6 games. And I was like, I guess you can, now that I look back at it, I'm like, damn, you're right. Like, they just threw in a quarterback of a team that went 17-0, lost obviously in the Super Bowl, but the next year they replaced the quarterback with somebody else and they lost 6 games and missed the playoffs. Like, I guess that quarterback was actually pretty good for that. Although that was the year that the Jets and the Dolphins won 11 games. So that doesn't happen often.
Yeah. All right. Here's another hot take.
That was a good one. I hope there's some New Englanders that chime in on that one tomorrow.
This one's going to get you fired up because we actually I gave you a sneak peek of some of the hot takes before the show.
Mm-hmm.
AI hot take number 5, and I have to walk away for 1 second because all hell is breaking loose. And I'll be right back. AI hot take number 5: Joe Burrow is just Carson Palmer with better PR. And you know what, D? That might sound asinine because we put Joe Burrow on a pedestal. He's nice. He is nice. But it's funny because we're talking about the same team in the Cincinnati Bengals. We're talking about two teams that don't have a ton, like during their times, didn't have a ton of playoff success. Like, I granted, Burrow went to the Super Bowl, so he has that under his belt. They didn't win it, went to the Super Bowl. Outside of that, though, very disappointing, like, playoff career, very, very disappointing tenure for Joe Burrow as the Bengals. And then hear me out, there's another similarity. Joe Burrow has T. Higgins. Joe Burrow has Jamar Chase. Carson Palmer also had two very good wide receivers, and
Yeah,
Chad
TJ and Chad.
and TJ Houshmandzadeh. Like, there's some striking similarities between these two quarterbacks.
So if you're gonna compare just similarities based off of scenario, sure, I'll give you that, because Carson had, like you said, the two wideouts. Joe's got the two wideouts. The Bengals didn't really have a defense back in the 90s and early 2000s, or it was the early 2000s and late 2000s. Bengals didn't have a defense. So I'll give you, like, when it comes to looking on paper, that, but the quarterback itself, absolutely not. Just what Joe's been able to accomplish is more than what Carson was able to. We can just date it all the way back to college, like a national championship and a Heisman. I know that, what's his name? Palmer was really good at USC. He might have won a Heisman, but he didn't win a national championship. Fast forward to the NFL, Burrows brought the Bengals to the Super Bowl. Carson Palmer never got close. So, like, I don't want to compare careers that way. There's some injuries that have hurt. I think Carson got the knee obviously early in his career, and then he was, good the rest of his career. Joe's had a couple of random ones. He's got the knee, then he had the wrist, obviously. Last year, they had the number 32nd. So I was trying to in reverse. The worst defense historically in the history of the NFL through like 10 games, right? Where his quarterbacking, if that were placed on 31 other teams, I think they said that they would have been like a 10-1 team. Like, if they didn't have the Bengals defense with what he did throughout the first 12 games of the season, he would have been a 10-2, 11-1 team.
I think also one of the sneaky things about this argument that is hard to capture, because again, GPT and AI is run off of data and numbers. Joe Burrow, by the numbers and the metrics, doesn't come off as a superstar quarterback, but where he does excel is he's one of the game's best processors of information. Yeah, his
100%
is off the charts. So, like, on paper, you can try to compare Joe Burrow to Carson Palmer, who in his own right was a very top quarterback of his time. He was not quite the elite level.
He was always a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah.
His entire career, he was always in the top 10 for quarterbacks playing.
He wasn't elite. But again, where Joe Burrow excels is that mental game. And for him, that absolutely puts him over the edge. And it's still early in Burrow's career, and I think we both agree there are extenuating circumstances that has kind of held him back from reaching that mountaintop.
I'm not going to say this is a hot take, and this isn't even saying that he is this type of quarterback, but I'm going to say Joe Burrow is closer to how Peyton Manning's career has played out than how Carson Palmer's has. Because Peyton Manning did a whole bunch of offensively oriented. You want to talk about the two wideouts? He had Reggie and he had Marvin, right? He had a Dwight or Dallas Clark. I think it was Dwight. Was it Dwight or Dallas?
Dallas Clark.
Dallas Clark, and decent running game. Like, I know he just lost Joe, but like, he had similar pieces. What I mean by that is offensively gifted, and then defensively, like, just struggled, where he could put up 40 in a game and then his defense give up 42. So, like, that's what I would say. That's more of the path that he's at, where when he gets one, he's going to launch himself into the upper echelons of greatest because of everything else he's done prior, just like it happened with Manning. It took Manning winning a championship for us to be like, all right, he's one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, I think Burrow is overhyped, but I think it's somewhat validated. Like, he's worth that hype. He's that good. Here's the one, D, that I'm going to drop a bomb on you. Hot take.
Ooh, I thought that one was spicy, but here we go.
AI hot take number 6, D, from ChatGPT. Again, I didn't prompt it to give me specific players or specific teams. It just gave me its spiciest takes in the sports universe. ChatGPT says, Kobe Bryant is one of the most mythologized and least efficient superstars in history. You know what, D? I know you love Kobe. He's your guy. I'm kind of with ChatGPT, man. Like, this is going to be blasphemous. Kobe's a glorified chucker.
Mm-hmm.
He's excellent at what he does. Like, he makes the most toughest shots in the game. He has an aura about him, but I don't think the way Kobe is spoken of, the mythology of Kobe, matches what he actually was as a player. And I think if he played today, people would criticize him for being inefficient and his game is not a winning game. But because he did have success, right, with the help of Shaq and Pow, and got those rings, and I know this is a little bit off topic, but because of the tragic way in which he passed, there is a bit of a eulogizing, lifting up of that myth. I don't want to keep saying mythologized, but like the mythological being known as Kobe Bryant. And you are staring at me with hate in your eyes. You are so mad about this hot take. D, what do you think about ChatGPT on this one?
This could not have been any more analytical of a take in the history of analytics. Sorry for hitting my mic. Reason being is because this is information that is being pulled via data. So if we're going to do data, I'll give you the data first, and then I'll give you the reason why I don't agree with this take. First is 5-time championships, 5-time champion, right? 3 with Shaq, sure. If you want to say he piggybacked with him, there was 2 series where he averaged 28 and Shaq averaged 29. So miss me with that. 1-time MVP. We all know that the 2012 season was stolen by Steve Nash. It was 100%. I don't care what anybody says. We've seen 5 seeds and 6 seeds players win MVPs. Steve Nash passed the ball for 11 assists per game and averaged 15 points and won MVP. Miss me with that. 3-time scoring champion, 18-time All-Star, 15-time All-Defense, like All-NBA, and 12-time All-Defense. So he's a two-way. That's just statistics. And what I wholeheartedly disagree with on the mythology is people that played against him, or played alongside him. They will tell you the same story whether he was alive or whether he has passed. That's why I believe more in what the NBA players have said about his career versus what statistics and talk shows and we people say he's a chucker, say that he's an inefficient scorer. He's going to put the ball in the bucket however way it cost for them to win a game, and he did that more often than most people.
The only argument I would present against you and you saying that his peers held him in high regards. It is well known today across the league that NBA players will speak extremely highly of guys like Kyrie Irving, who can do things that they can't even imagine doing. So sometimes you have the athletes in awe of some of the skill sets of other players, even when those skill sets don't directly translate to winning. So while Kobe had a game that a lot of players respected and thought was outstanding, that game doesn't always translate to winning. Now, in Kobe's case, it did. But again, he put up statistics, right? You said he had these scoring titles. I would love to go back, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, to see, all right, well, what was the volume? Was it a product of taking the shots or taking the best shots? Because I would guess that his volume was cranked up to a 10 compared to the rest of the league at the time.
It 100% was inefficient. I'm agreeing with you on that. He for the majority of his career, he was considered a ball hog because he had to shoot the ball. And you want to know why? Because of that right there. I muted myself instead of getting rid of the message. That was too much thinking right there. There are people that have gone on record saying, Kobe, why do you shoot as many shots that you do, knowing that you may miss? And his answer is because those motherfuckers don't deserve the ball. Because they are walking it. This is, I think, a quote from Byron Scott. Like his previous coach, assistant, and like help mentor was like, why aren't you? And he's like, because they're walking into practice 3 minutes before it starts and they're packing up their shoes 10 minutes before it ends. Why do you deserve to shoot the ball when I'm in the gym working on my craft an hour before and countless hours after, getting better, so that when I pass you the ball, you miss your shot because you weren't working? Yes, I'm going to take that fucking mentality over anything else because he's the guy, or he is one of those guys, as many of them, few and far between, that have the, I don't care if I miss or I make the shot, I'm putting the team on my shoulders and I'll take the brunt of the responsibility, because not everybody can do that. And he did that and won 5 championships because of that mentality. So yeah, again, statistic wise, chat's gonna say, or ChatGPT, computers, talking heads, they're gonna pull out these numbers and say, oh, he's 11th best player in the NBA history. And then guys that played against him would be like, it's MJ, Kobe, and LeBron. Like, I'm not taking Bird, I'm not taking Magic, I'm not taking Shaq, I'm taking Kobe, Bean, Bryant.
All right. Those are spicy, but deep. I want to get to the nuclear ones because
I mean, good God, you came after me with. I'm waiting for something to drop for LSU because you came. I mean, guess kind of Burrow was that. You came after me with Joe. You came after me with Kobe. Waiting for you to say something like the Saints 2010 championship is the most bullshit championship of all time. Like, what's the deal?
The last two, or the last couple, are fucking nuclear spicy, and one of them, if you're a Celtics fan out there, hang on tight because I'm gonna get to that one soon. This one is an interesting one. Let me find the write-up for it. AI hot take number 7. This is the nuclear division. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills are the new Chargers. Talented, yes. Winners, never. So they're comparing the Buffalo Bills to those Chargers teams. You know, when Brady was around, when the Chargers would go like 14-2, 13-3, and it would never amount to anything really. So ChatGPT's hot take is the Buffalo Bills are going to be looked upon in 10 years, this run of the Bills, like the Chargers run with who was their quarterback at the time? Philip Rivers was back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I mean, I will say I will agree with this. Do I agree with it being a nuclear take? No. I thought this would be a little bit spicier because like this organization has gone through this before. Phil Simms and not Phil Simms. Who was the other quarterback? There's a quarterback for the Bills in the 90s. I can't remember his name. I'm sure.
Quincy, I forget what his name was.
One of the quarterbacks in the 90s brought the Bills to the Super Bowl 4 straight years, and they lost 4 straight times. So it's like it's not like this hasn't happened before with this organization. Jim Kelly, thank you. Yeah, like this has happened before with this organization. So I get the comparison because like at the time they had Antonio Gates, Phillip Rivers, LaDainian Tomlinson on defense. They had Sean Merriman. I'm sure they had Quentin Jammer. I think at the time they had a whole bunch of like athletes, studs. They'd go 13-3 in the regular season and then lose in the division playoffs against the Patriots. Like they just ran into the Michael Jordan of the NFL. I guess you could kind of say that's like the Mahomes right now because I watched a video of the playoff losses from Josh. Wow, why am I drawing a blank? Josh Allen, and how he's progressively just gotten like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Where like they lost the first one, and his press conference is like, hey, you know, they were the better team today. We got a chance to, you know, hopefully do better and beat them next year. They lost the second one, and he was like, you know, things happen. It's unfortunate. They lost the third one, and he was just like trying to figure out what we can do to get better. That last one that they lost, his previous playoffs, he was just silent. He was just like this is his ghost. This is his demon. It's Patrick Mahomes. And the guy that doesn't care about this goddamn demon keeps getting hurt before he gets to the playoffs, or his team misses it because the defense can't stop a nosebleed, and that's Burrow. That motherfucker doesn't care if he goes up against Mahomes. He could give 2 shits. But Josh Allen, yeah, he's coming across his, you know, Phillip Rivers Brady, where he just can't get over that hump, man. Like, so I would agree with it. I wish this was a little bit more spicier.
The next two are nuclear. The next was nuclear, but I think I agree with that one. Like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if Josh Allen and the Bills never won one together.
No, and it's just the time that they're in. If this were that time frame between, and he had a chance too, but that time between Brady going from New England to Tampa and then he actually won, that would have been his best chance. But he let Mahomes take it.
Are you ready for fucking Deathcom, not like 10 nuclear?
This better be good because that last one was not the greatest.
I like
nuclear.
This one.
All right.
I hope there's some Celtics fans in the building. Are you ready? From ChatGPT, one of their hottest takes. Jason Tatum is the new Paul George. Looks like a superstar, plays like one every 2 out of 7 nights. And I'm like, Damn, that ain't wrong, actually. That seems pretty fucking spot on.
Oh boy, you're gonna get some people pissed off with this one. I
Hear me out.
can't. You
like
go ahead. You go ahead. You give yours because this is a good one.
the Tatum is a new Paul George. Like, it gave me a head scratch.
Oh,
and
man.
it gave me the explanation. Looks like a superstar plays one every 2 out of 7 nights. When we think about the playoffs and the Celtics runs, even when they went to the finals and won, like, you'd have a Tatum 40-point game against the 76ers in game 7, but then you'd have 3 ducks in the next round. And thankfully for Tatum, his team is so goddamn good around him. And he has, I don't know, Jaylen Brown, who won MVP of the finals and Eastern Conference finals last year. Like, he has that running mate who can put on the Superman cape and be the Batman. So, like, we think of Jason Tatum, and he's in the conversation every year. MVP voting, he makes it into the top 6, top 5. Like, that is supposed to be a guy who carries your team. But when it comes to the playoffs, and we think about Paul George, we've clowned on him, called him playoff P. He's like, I'm playoff P. He never shows up. And, like, is Tatum that guy where, like, he has all this hype like Paul George has gotten in the past, and he just isn't actually that type of superstar, carry your team to the finish line type player? I think that's a decent assessment.
I can't wait to bring this one to the group chat after, man. I'm actually gonna wait till tomorrow morning just to set the world on fire and be like, hey guys, hope you all having a good day. Hope Tuesday's been great for you. By the way, and I'm gonna drop this bomb. I don't want to say that I agree because I just don't want to. I don't you have a valid case, and we've been on this show and we've talked about it where he's not an MVP. He never will be, unfortunately. He just he hasn't been able to pull the weight of an MVP like a Giannis Antetokounmpo, LeBron James, a Jokic, these guys that put the team on their shoulders for 50, 60, 70 games in a row. He hasn't been able to. Is this going to knock him down? Probably, but he's got a major career injury, just like a Paul George. Good God, the similarities. He's got a career-altering injury, so it really depends on how he bounces back. But right now, he's got the championship. I can't say 1 for 1 he's a Paul George, but the style of play, yeah, it's pretty damn close. Of go off for 3 or 4 straight games and then take the back seat for 3 or 4 straight games. So that is, I can't wait to talk about that one tomorrow. That's going to be a good one.
All right, I got 2 more, and we'll wrap up. Hot take number 9. This is part of the nuclear bracket for ChatGPT. I don't know if it's as hot. I think that Jason Tatum was the hottest one we have. This one's an interesting one, though. You ready? ChatGPT says, the Warriors dynasty died the second Draymond went podcaster over protector. And I think there is some validity to this. And the fact that I know Draymond's a very lightning rod type player. I've heard people say that he's just bad and has carried this, been a bandwagon. What does Shaq say, or what do they say on the countdown show? Driving the bus. He's just on the bus, Draymond, right? He's not a bus driver, so he's just been hitching his ride with the Warriors. But for me, what made the Warriors work was what Draymond brought to the court with his connectivity, his defense, his passing. And yes, like earlier in his career, while he was a very explosive player emotionally on the court, he was locked in and focused. He became more than just a player, right? He wanted to become this media entrepreneur.
Brand.
He wants to be a brand. He has his podcast. He jumps on the pregame show, the postgame show with Kenny and Shaq and all those guys. Mm-hmm. And when he started to care more about the brand, Draymond that is, it started fracturing relationships with guys like Kevin Durant. He started punching teammates in the face. Like, it seems like when he made this decision to become a brand, this Warriors thing started to fizzle out, and it's never come. Granted, it did come back once, but Steph Curry against the Celtics became unstoppable against the Celtics. That's Curry's final. I think there's some validity in this argument. What do you think?
I think that the character is correct. I think the reasoning is wrong. I think you are right, or chat would be right if we just said Draymond Green is the reason the dynasty for the Warriors fell shorter than what it should have been, because he is the sole reason why Kevin Durant left. Like, they had a chance to go rip off. They won 2. If he'd have stayed, they probably could have won another 2 more, maybe even 3. That team was unbelievable. And in Draymond Green, that one game against who did Shea play for? The Clippers. That one game against the Clippers where he dribbled the ball up for 10 seconds and then fumbled it and kicked it out of bounds for them to go to overtime, where everybody was like, what the fuck are you doing? That set KD off, and then they argued in the playoffs, then the injury, so on and so forth. So I place blame on him for that. And then when they get another chance of having a younger team take over post this Curry championship, he punches Jordan Poole in practice. And that sets off them not being good, having good bench, right? Because that was the spark that he had, that team needed off of the bench. Jordan Poole was that type of player. Then he takes off. So it's like, yeah, I would say the player ruined the dynasty of the Warriors, where it could have been for 10 years, honestly. And he cut it short twice. So I would say that. I wouldn't say so much of the podcast. I would just say him as a person, he definitely deflated the Warriors dynasty, what we could have seen something rip off for like 10 years.
All right, let's close this out with a clean 10 hot take. AI hot take number 10. I thought this was a good one. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
The Detroit Lions are America's favorite pity project. They're not underdogs. They're underachievers with great vibes.
Ooh, this is a good one. And I am on Team ChatGPT for this one.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm throwing fire on the flame. I'm throwing gas on the flames for this one. Look, I love the Detroit Lions. I love everything that, what's the coach's name we always talk about?
Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell, former player, grit, grind it out, great pregame, postgame, and conference speeches. He's got Thunder and Lightning as running backs. Jared Goff has played his ass off. Amon-Ra has his own motivation for people drafted before him, and he's been an incredible player. Aiden Hutchinson, obviously, although he got injured, they still had a great defensive line. These past 4 years have been underachievement, like 100%, because they had their coming to moment 4 years ago of like, oh my goodness, these guys could be something, right? That was when they were America's pity project, right? These last 3 years, 100% underachievers. How do you lose to the Washington Commanders? And I love Jaden Daniels. He's QB2. Joe Burrow's QB1, and Jaden Daniels will always be QB2 for me. But you had the better team. You had the better team, and you were the home team. Dan Campbell, you cannot lose that game. You cannot be the number 1 seed in the NFC at home and lose to a rookie quarterback. Yes, I am 100% on the side of they are underachievers now. 4 years ago, they were this is an up-and-coming team. 3 years later, after loss after loss after loss in the playoffs, they lost to the 49ers, who didn't even have a fucking quarterback. Yeah, man, Campbell, I'm not saying that seat is hot because they love you in Detroit, but you guys are going to look back on this in 5 years and be like, our window is shut and we had a chance to do something.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing is that most football fans do have a soft spot in their heart for the Lions.
It's Detroit.
Because it's Detroit, but they've been so bad for so long, right? Since Barry Sanders left. They have been rudderless.
They were bad when he was there.
They were bad when he was there. They hadn't made the playoffs in 20, 30 years, right? So there was this sort of underdog story for them to make the playoffs and bust out of that hellhole. But I think people do still look at them as like this lovable underdog. And like ChatGPT tried to point out, this is a fucking stacked roster. They have the best 100%. Offensive line in football.
Oh, second.
Who are you going to put ahead of them?
The Eagles.
Okay, fair enough. Second best line.
1 and 2. We can say 1A, 1B.
They have weapons. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta. They have a quarterback who they went out and got. It has been, you're a big defender of Jared Goff. Like, this is a team that is no longer an underdog.
No, you're not an underdog at 15 and 2.
People still look at them as the lovable Detroit Lions. And they are and should be viewed as one of these high echelon contenders, and we should hold them in the same regards as if they were the Eagles or the Chiefs or the Ravens. And when the Ravens lose, fucking hell breaks loose on earth. And we talk so much shit about how they're underachievers. But the Detroit Lions, with this type of roster, skirts by because guess what? They're the lovable Detroit Lions. And people's brains have not wrapped their head around. They're not underdogs anymore. They should be competing for championships. And it's not okay to lose.
They should be winning championships.
Mm.
Not even just competed. Like, they should be winning. They should be at least representing the NFC out of the NFC championship game. Not just making it too. Like, they should be losing in the Super Bowl to somebody on the other side.
But the thing is, when they do lose, what do people say? Well, they had a good season. Like, it's good to see them back, right? And it's, while this isn't a hot take, it does make you look at it and be like, huh, have we all been really thinking about the Lions as lovable underdogs? And I think the answer is yes.
Yeah. 100%.
One.
That is a good one. And I'm glad that I got that one was the last one, because like I was a little hot with some of the ones that we were all here talking about. Like, yeah, man, personal attacks, Chat GPT, what's the deal, bro? Like, you going after me. Yeah. And Joe Burrow, like, what's the deal? Talk about my guys.
Chat GPT, I'm not gonna put any more out there, but they hate the Cowboys. So some of the quotes that they try to throw out about the Cowboys, the Cowboys fans are flat earthers. They still think it's 1995. It's not. You're not one piece away. You're 30 years deep in denial. Was literally the quote it gave me. And I thought, that's not a hot take. I agree. That's hilarious.
That is scorched earth, like just shitting on the Cowboys. And I love that.
Damian Lillard is a glorified 2K player.
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, I don't disagree with that one, actually. How is this the hottest take? This is like one of the hottest baseball takes. It's just like, yes, of course. Mike Trout is the best baseball player nobody cares about. He's baseball's Tim Duncan, but with zero playoff relevance. Yeah.
I wouldn't even say he's baseball's Tim Duncan, but yeah. Tim Duncan was like, people knew how good Tim Duncan was, but we kind of know how good Mike Trout is, but like, he plays in LA. I think he's still in LA, right?
Angels. Yeah.
Yeah, so like he's in LA. He's in one of the big, like across the street is the biggest like organization in the history of sports, being the Dodgers, and he still can't catch a bone. Like
these funny. This was called Bonus Napalm Fan Base Edition, just to clown on fan bases.
Yeah.
Lakers fans are the Real Madrid fans of the Lakers fans are the Real Madrid of the NBA. Only show up when you're winning, and you think every star wants to play for you because vibes. Eagles fans think they're underdogs with the Super Bowl roster. You're not gritty. You're favored. Now act like it.
I like that one. That's a good one.
Knicks fans will scream, "This is our year," if their team signs a G League MVP. You don't want a title. You want Twitter clout and trauma bonding.
Every year the Knicks say that's a New York thing. This is our year. And what are we looking at? The last New York championship was the Giants, right? It hasn't been the Yankees recently.
Yeah.
Hasn't been.
Oh, you're right.
Knicks, the Nets. I think the last championship for that one hurts to say for some people. I'm sorry. The last championship that New York has won is the Giants. Oh my goodness. Ugh.
This one's for you. I think you'll agree. You like this one.
Oh, okay.
College football is more fun than the NFL. The chaos, rivalries, and upsets just hit harder, even if the quality is worse.
Pageantry and tradition. And I beg to differ on that quality thing, because people will look at a Alabama 70-2 game against Northwestern, be like, oh, quality of football is bad. It's like, no, go turn on a Saturday night 8 p.m. game, and then you judge college football. That's how you see how good that one is.
I like this one. Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame and have his own wing. Steroids or not, he played in a league full of juicers and still lapped the field.
Yes. So not only that, who was it? There's an interview out there with Chipper Jones, and he's like, there's Hall of Famers who are all on planet Earth, and he's like, and then there's Barry Bonds, who's like a galactic superstar. Like he's on a planet of his own as to how fucking good he was at baseball. It's like, yes, that's why he should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't give a damn what he took. He made the game fun to watch. I
love all these takes. And then just a random one for boxing. I think this is actually pretty interesting. from the world of boxing. If I can find one really quick.
Floyd Mayweather is overrated. Yeah.
Boxing is dead because nobody fights who they're supposed to.
Also, very, very true. Picked fights, it's not picked fights, specifically placed fights hurt boxing, along with no major name in heavyweight because people love watching heavyweight boxing. The when it was Deontay, can't remember his name, terrible names, but it was Deontay versus the
Wilder?
Gypsy. Yeah, Deontay Wilder versus the big dude that called himself the Big Gypsy, big white dude.
Yes. I don't follow boxing.
You know what I'm talking about. But yes, when those two were fighting, more people catered towards boxing. And then Tyson Fury, thank you. That's why we have guests. That's why we have y'all in the chat. Appreciate you. But yes, Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. When those two were going at it, the first fight and somewhat the second, people gravitated to boxing because it's two heavyweight fights where you literally know one punch in one round can end the fight. You gravitate to that. As much as people, I mean, I don't even damn because I don't really care about him. But like Floyd's 52 wins, people don't really want to see a 10-round TKO, 11-round TKO. People want to be pissed off that they spent $100 on a pay-per-view and see Mike Tyson knock somebody out in 30 seconds. You might be pissed that you spent the money, but you are going to lose your shit when you see him knock someone's teeth into the back of their brain 30 seconds of the fight. That's what you pay to see. Just like in UFC, where people don't really care for the submission in the fifth. They care about that 30-second elbow to the face.
Yeah, I think UFC is even more guilty than boxing of the fixed fights.
Oh, 100%. You
champions fighting down and not fighting the best competition. And that would be great for the sport of MMA and boxing. The best against the best.
Mid-2000s, between like 2005 and 2015, there was an era of like middleweights were fighting. Anderson Silva was taking on Chuck Liddell. Rampage Jackson was taking on Ken Shamrock. Like middleweights were fighting middleweights. Heavy. The Quentin Rampage. Sorry, I said Rashad Evans was facing. What's his name? Forrest Griffin. Like they were fight. It's weird that I can remember.
He got this. He played a lot of.
Holy crap! I played a ton of UFC Undisputed, but like those names were fighting. They were on the cards. Yeah. And like that brought you to watch. And then I think what ruined it, I mean, we're going to put blame on something. I think Brock Lesnar ruined UFC because he came in, fought one person, and then he was the heavyweight champ. And we're like, what the hell? All you have to do is just be a WWE superstar, then go into UFC. Like, this is a clown show. So, yeah, I would.
About this. If you can gab and you have
that's whatever the fuck he wants. Little fucking leprechaun.
And I think it's a blame. Like, yeah, they want marketing in these combat sports, and also, if anything, the movie Rocky 3 taught me: when you become a champion, you want to retain that belt because there's a lot of money that comes along with it. Rocky ducked Clubber Lang forever. He was number one, title shot when he fought Clubber Lang. Who won? Clubber Lang
whooped his ass. Oh, well, look, hey, this is also part of the Shohei. Unique athlete. Is insane. Like I said, I know it was a joke for him to go from WWE to UFC, but like he did win a fight. He won a couple fights, which is not easy to do. And he's an incredible WWE wrestler. He's an Olympic gold medalist at wrestling. Like that is an athletic. He's got a daughter that's in. Have you watched his daughter?
His daughter looks like him. Carbon copy.
But he's an NFL player too. He played for the Vikings. Like Brock Lesnar is, he might be up there as an unbelievable athlete. But like, dog, his daughter shot put. She's fucking nasty.
Yeah.
Like I get some of the like it's called Up Next. I think it is. It's like ESPN, but it's like college athletes like they're about to hit their prime with whatever sport that they're doing. And she showed up a couple of times in her shot put. I'm like, good God, like. She's nasty, like gold medalist on the helm, and I think she goes to Baylor, something like that.
Yeah, dude, she's incredible. I've seen the clips of her, and she is built like her dad, like an 100%. Absolute tank.
There's that's his child.
By the
they
way,
walk next to each other. Oh yeah, that's your daughter.
We need to hire your guy, the mayor, to become our producer because he's been on it in the chat, like helping us out, filling in the blanks of
names, baby, names. And one day we're gonna have it through here, but right now we'll read it on the script.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate you, man. Good show. Did you enjoy the GPT hot take segment?
Yeah, that was cool because it was different, right? We ain't never done that. We don't really use another platform for our statistics. We'll research, but like to have everything solely a show dedicated solely off of one platform, that's different.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, let's get to closing takes, and we'll get out of here for the day.
The show is coming to an end. But first, it's time to get to anything we've missed. It's closing time. 1 segment, 2 takes. Now go.
All right, y'all, we're getting out of here. So we have one last take each before we head off for the day. We can go anywhere. You can go sports, pop culture, just whatever you want to say. I'll kick us off. I don't need to go big screen for this one, but since we didn't talk any basketball, we did talk basketball, nothing relevant to what's going on right now. I did want to bring up NBA Summer League and just give a shout to, well, we might be talking about different players, D, so you don't know. I clown them personally, and I still don't know. Because, like, this is the thing about Summer League, D. If you're coming into the league, if you're a rookie, and you're bad at Summer League, red flags. If you're balling in Summer League, you feel okay, but like it's not like, oh, he's gonna come into the league and just be nasty. Like, it doesn't mean a whole lot if you're good in the Summer League. It's more of like if you're bad, it's a but I do want to shout out the Portland Trailblazers rookie Young Han-sun, because
that's Mini Yao, right?
Was that
who they've been calling Mini Yao?
Chinese Jokic.
Yeah. Okay, same guy. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the first couple of games in Summer League have been incredible. It's hilarious, guys. 7'2", dropping dimes like Jokic. He can do a little bit of everything. He's not much of a perimeter shooter, but he has a really fun and entertaining post. I don't what we want to say, like a post point game, very similar to Jokic. And it's funny. You can see him yelling at his teammates to cut and do stuff, but doesn't speak English. So he's just like using his hands to like yelling at teammates to cut, and he's just diming them up. It's a fun story. So if you have a chance to watch the Portland Trailblazers play next year, check out Young Han-sun. It could be a really fun watch. And another thing I really like about this guy is, again, this guy's into 3 things in life, because they asked him after one of his games what he was going to do after the win, and he stayed true to what his important things in life are: eat, sleep, PS5. That's my dog. I love this guy, Young Han-sun.
Good for him. Yeah, I've seen clips on Instagram of, at least from the channels that I've been following. They call him Mini Yao. His game back to the basket wise, they were like, it's reminiscent of a young Yao Ming when he came into the league, because Yao could pass. Yao was a good distributor. He couldn't really shoot, but like he was good at the backdoor cuts and whatnot.
But Han-sun, like, he doesn't make passes like Yao. He is like doing the Jokic thing with the ball in the air, like the very, very strange water polo Jokic thing. And he said? We're at the time, D, where NBA prospects are now mimicking and idolize some of the newer guys. His NBA idol has always been Nikola Jokic, so he has modeled his game after Jokic. So it's funny to see the players that Jokic, Giannis have influenced in the game now. That
was who did I say that kid? VJ
Edgecombe. Hey, he's nice. He looks so nice.
He looks good. He looks good. Him say people, them experts saying that he looks like Ant. I watched one of those games. I was like, yeah, he might be my favorite rookie. I tell you that. I'm actually gonna stay in the Summer League, but like in a sad Summer League story, because that's not sad. It's not sad. It's sad for me. It's sad for me, but it's not really sad, because what could have been. I love the fact that we got a championship. I love the fact every time we get to Summer League, I think about this team. I love that we got LeBron James, and then the guys that performed led to getting Anthony Davis, which got us a championship in 2020. But the Lakers Summer League team, like 7 years ago, just the names is like, if this team stuck together, they could be like OKC, because essentially they were.
Okay.
They had Lonzo Ball, healthy if he were, but coming out of college. They had Caruso, Brandon Ingram, Kuzma, and Zubac as their starting 5 in the Summer League. Then off the bench, they had Jordan Clarkson, Thomas Bryant. Like, they had depth and they had skill.
Pump the brakes.
As rookies. No, you look, every single one of these players is, I won't say every, when they are healthy, is a fringe all-star / all-NBA player.
Bro, you need to be muted after that take.
No.
It's the hottest take that we've had.
If you have this fucking team,
dog,
you are a top 3.
You're telling me Kyle Kuzma's fringe all-star if healthy. His best years was his first 2 years, and he's been all downhill since then.
His best years when they went to the championship and he hit a game winner in the bubble. That was his best year. But no, dead ass. Like I said,
I will say though, that is for a summer league team. For a summer league team, that is a lot of good NBA talent.
Yeah, and like it's me just joking. It's just every time we get to summer league basketball, I look at this and I'm like, damn, that team was fun to watch. It was definitely fun to watch. They were dominant, and they all came out to be solid NBA players. I'm joking around when I say that they're all NBA players or like, you know, they're going to be NBA champions or MVPs or something like that. But like Brandon Ingram has done his thing when he stayed healthy, scoring wise. Lonzo Ball was regarded as one of the best two-way point guards when he's on the floor. Caruso's got 2 championships. Like Thomas Bryant has got a couple of championships. Zubac is one of the best centers in the league. Like they have that team, those players turned out to be really good. So it was really cool to see that showed up on my feed to be like, hey, let's take a trip down memory lane and be like, how this team was in 2017, 2018. I'm like, good God, they had some good talent when they were young.
Did they win the NBA Summer League championship?
Yeah, they dominated that year.
Nice.
I think they went undefeated.
Hey, man, the Lakers going to hang that banner because they hung the IST tournament banner. They're going to hang
Kobe Bryant would have never, tell you that. He said it. We don't fucking raise division championship banners. What is this in-season tournament shit that, miss me with that.
Clown stuff. By the way, you guys got a new ownership group, so that's good. Good for you guys.
I feel like that's the wave in the NBA right now.
Everyone's
what's his name? The dude for OKC? Watch that happen soon. At some point, these guys, they're going to pay everybody, and then they're going to get out of Dodge before they have to pay him again.
Hey, man, the dude 2 years ago, 3 years ago who sold the Bucks,
he knew it was coming.
Him. That was
we said it. We were like, ooh, writing's on the wall for Giannis if they're selling the team. They know that they had their peak already.
The Celtics and
it just happened with the Celtics.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyways, enough dogging on the Celtics today.
I know you
got enough.
It's almost you worse than I am with the Celtics today.
Yeah, I gotta kick them when they're down, right?
100%. I'm with you on that one.
All right, do you get us out of here, right?
Oh, what a show. What a show. Did we keep it under an hour and a half? I think we did. Yeah, 112. Look at that. We're good. Just like the old R&B group. Hey, for everybody that's been in here, we couldn't appreciate it anymore. Mason or Mayor, I'll hit you up on the side because you were right on spot with some of the producing statistics and names that we needed. So great shit from you today. Also, Matt from Facebook, we appreciate you. Every time that we go live, you guys know when you can find us. It's on Twitch, it's on YouTube, it's on Facebook. If we're doing anything after hours or flipping up with the Spotify or Apple podcast, you can hit us up tomorrow. That would be Tuesday morning. If you want to find us on our website, it's at the bottom, frizzandthegrizz.com. But again, if you want to follow your boy, dfrizzy_frizz5 on Twitch. Every time we get up out of here, we always tell people, please, it's the summertime. Be a friend. Say something nice. You never know what it could do for everyone. Please make sure y'all take care of y'all mentals. Get in the gym. Take care of y'all physicals. Take care of y'all chicken. Take care of y'all cheering. And we'll catch y'all on the rebound. Peace.
I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. Well, Coach, I mean, listen, we're talking about practice, not a game. We're talking about practice, not a game, not the game that I go out there and die for.